In a world before boy bands and auto-tuned vocals, there was a raw and untamed era of music, and at its epicenter stood Sun Records and the meteoric rise of a young man named Elvis Presley. Immerse yourself in the tales of struggle, ambition, and the unbridled passion that shaped the landscape of music forever. In the realm of music, the Sun Records label stood as a beacon of authenticity, capturing the raw and unadulterated essence of rock and roll. British musician Joe Brown eloquently described the label's allure, stating, "The Sun Records are amazing because it comes straight from the heart. You can hear it, it's straight from the heart onto the tape, and that's the end of it. No highfalutin producer has got his greasy hands on it and mucked it around." Elvis Presley, a young man with an undeniable charisma and a voice that resonated with a generation, emerged as the embodiment of this musical revolution. His homecoming concert in Tupelo on August 3, 1955, drew an astonishing crowd of 22,000, requiring the intervention of the National Guard to maintain order. The mayor of Tupelo bestowed upon him the key to the city, a symbolic gesture that underscored the profound impact Elvis had already made on his hometown. The excitement surrounding Elvis's meteoric rise continued to escalate, and rock and roll icon Marty Wilde shared his admiration for the young singer's raw talent. Wilde remarked, "There's a wonderful album with Elvis doing Tweedledee and Maybelline on the Louisiana hayride. The magic aura comes across, and you can tell that he desperately wants success. It's absolutely impossible to keep that fire in your belly all the time. And it's no surprise that he lost the buzz by the time he had left the army." D.J. Fontana, Elvis's drummer during his early years, provided a glimpse into the financial struggles that the band faced. He recalled, "Elvis had some shows in East Texas, which was only 100 miles away from Shreveport in the hayride, and he asked me to play drums. He kept giving me work when they could afford someone else. They weren't making much money. I was the highest paid guy in the band at the time. I was getting $100 a week. They had to pay for the transportation and the rooms, and they were splitting the rest 3 ways. Elvis, Scotty, and Bill often didn't have anything left, and I'd be loaning them $10. It was that tight." Tommy Sands, a fellow rock and roll singer, shared his experiences working alongside Elvis. He recounted, "We worked on shows together around Houston and Shreveport. He was thrilling the crowds even when he was unknown. He would be on stage for no more than 30 seconds, and the girls would be out of their chairs and rushing the stage, just like they did later when he became famous. The Beatles had success like that too, but it wasn't the same kind of female adoration that Elvis enjoyed. Colonel Parker wasn't really interested in the music, but he loved the idea of somebody who would excite the public whatever they might be doing." Elvis's association with Colonel Parker, a shrewd and enigmatic figure, marked a turning point in his career. On August 15, 1955, Elvis signed his first contract with Parker, although his arrangement with Bob Neal continued until March 15, 1956. Neal subsequently managed Johnny Cash, another country music legend. Initially, Elvis performed primarily at country shows, but he yearned for a broader audience. Colonel Parker recognized his potential and secured a demanding contract that placed the onus of success squarely on Elvis's shoulders. The contract stipulated that Elvis was to play 100 personal appearances within a year for the meager sum of $200, including his musicians. As Elvis was still a minor, the contract required his parents' signatures. Vernon Presley approved, but Gladys remained skeptical, and there are few photographs of her with Colonel Parker, none of which suggest a comfortable rapport. In September 1955, Elvis Presley had his final Sun session, recording the Billy Emerson blues song, "When It Rains, It Pours." The session captured Elvis's infectious laughter when a take went awry, and he made a playful joke about fellow musician Carl Perkins. The recording remained unfinished as Sam Phillips, the owner of Sun Records, wished to discuss business matters with Elvis, possibly due to Colonel Parker's absence. Elvis would revisit the song in 1957. Elvis's contract with the Louisiana hayride was renegotiated on September 8, 1955, securing him $200 for each appearance. This demonstrated Colonel Parker's bargaining power, but it also imposed limitations on Elvis's freedom. Parker's ambition was to transform Elvis into a major star, yet he continued to tie him to weekly performances in Shreveport. Tommy Sands recalled a profound piece of advice that Elvis shared with him during their time together at the Louisiana Hayride. Sands stated, "I remember one very bright thing that Elvis said to me while we were waiting to go on stage at the Louisiana Hayride. I was worried about something and he said, 'I've got a rule, Tom. I never worry about things I can't control.' That has stuck with me through the years as it is very good advice." Elvis's performance at the Cotton Club in Lubbock, Texas, on October 15, 1955, left an indelible mark on the young Buddy Holly. Sonny Curtis, who accompanied Holly to the show, described the electrifying experience. "Elvis was wild. Man, he was something else. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was so much magnetism there. We all freaked and fell immediately in love with him." Buddy Holly, in particular, fell in love with Elvis's style, and the day after Elvis left, we started playing his music. Buddy played the part of Elvis, and I was Scotty. I already had a Chet Atkins style, which is roughly what Scotty Moore was doing. That's where you employ the thumb to play the rhythm, and you play the melody with the fingers. You have the rhythm and the melody going at the same time, and so one guitar player can sound like 2 Inch.